Hi there, I am Dory Jo Stowell with Prairie Scraps, and welcome to Facebook, my business page, and hopefully it went over to my group. Otherwise, I will share it shortly. So I am going to make a Christmas sign probably for a door or whatever, but it's going to be out of this large size tag. I have a stack of these. I ordered a bunch of wood bases. I think 3 years ago, I got a really good deal on them. There was like probably 40, I think. And I think I paid maybe $40 or $60, $60, I think, for like 40 different bases. And they're really pretty good quality. They're a little thicker in nature. So that is what we are going to use as our base. And while I'm talking, I'm going to get started because I want this to be painted up and covered before we do the next fun part, right? The fun part. My least favorite thing to do is painting surfaces. I thought I had some. Everything's, right. Oh, I got one. Okay, last one. I'm going to have to look for more. I'm going to see if this works for me. So, this one, I'm going to use, oh, that looks soupy. I'm going to use this, it's the Waverly chalk in plaster, and maybe, I don't know what I'm going to use to get it out of there, because I usually just stick my brush in, but I just don't want it to, because I know I usually cover the tops of my paints. I'll mist a little bit of, water on top of it, because I might, before this lands, I think I might put a little bit of water down. So stick with me. I have my own, madness here to painting surfaces. And this is pretty thick stuff. I don't want the whole thing to come out, but I do want some of it to come out. Maybe use it's looking like, do I have a paint spatula? I have some in the house. Oh, there it comes. Like, it's not coming out. It's pretty thick. Okay, just going to go with that for now and see how that goes. I want to get that cleaned up. So I know it's been a while since I've gone live on the channel. I was in that event. Let's see if we can get this moving here. I don't have a whole lot of faith in these sponge brushes. They just, I don't know. The one thing I do like about them is they do have like a nice, neat, even coating. So that I do like about them, but I'm not crazy about how hard it is to use them, because it seems like they all fall apart as you're using them. And they seem to be like a one-time use. That's what I don't like about them. Let's get some more of this out here. This is definitely soaking up. I do remember this about it, because this is a raw wood. It's definitely soaking up a lot of paint. And as I was pouring out the paint, I was thinking maybe I should do an antique wax underneath it so that there's some darkness around it. But we're going to come back for that. Don't worry. We will come back and get this all done. So signs. I'm wanting to get this ready for my holiday craft fairs. They're coming up. I have 2 of them locally that I do every year. One is in the next town over, and then one is here in my town. And they actually, the weekend that the ones here in this town, in the first weekend of December is always this first weekend of December. There's always usually at 2 or 3 places that are hosting craft fairs. So let's see if we can get this. I don't know. I'm going to get, oh, I already hit the edge. I was like, if I could get it just on the front, that'd be great. But nope, we're going to have to do the edges too. So, but not too bad, actually, coverage wise. It's looking good. Let's see if we can get a little bit more on here. Now this, even though this says it's chalk paint, this Waverly paint, oops, that was a lot. That was a lot. Even though this says Waverly chalk paint, it is an acrylic paint. So I believe it is permanent. So if you were wondering, oh, is this gonna, be water-based, although I do add water successfully to it to get it to thin out, because this is pretty thick. Like you can see when it's barely coming out of the bottle. Pretty thick. So I feel like this is only going to be a one-time coat here. So what inspired me to do this is, one, I've got this transfer that I've been kind of holding on to. I don't know. I just haven't thought to use it yet. So I have this one transfer that I need to use. Nobody wants to have a transfer sitting around forever. So I need to get it used because it's Christmas and I don't want to be after Christmas and not using everything I purchased for Christmas. So we don't want to wait till next Christmas to use it. And then, so that was kind of the first inspiration. But then I thought for colors, I'm going to use my, should I say, last year I made a bunch of bows. I'm definitely getting my fingers in this now. This is a full-on project now. There's no going back. We are all in here. All right. I'm going to take that pile up on my thing and make sure, get all the streaks out. Last year I thought I saw one of the other, that's one thing. Sometimes you get really great ideas from friends and stuff. And I'm sure, maybe this would work in other places, but I thought I'm going to make a bunch of decorative bows. I have just a ton of Christmas ribbon. So go back. I probably have that on Facebook, on YouTube. You could probably watch it because Facebook, has been getting rid of everything on us. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Monique. Good to see you. Yeah, me too. So they've been really good to me, actually, these local ones. But I'm always looking for something new, trying to get new things. But last year I saw somebody who was, in our group, Monique, that was selling bows, like pre-made bows, like you would put on your wreaths and stuff, but you wouldn't have to like make them yourself. They were already pre-made with nice ribbons. So I made a bunch of them up thinking I could sell some and get rid of some of my my ribbon, because I have just tons of it. And because we did 4-H, we did bows, wreath bows for 3 years for 4-H for a project. And so anyway, it was a great idea in theory. I loved the idea of just having like a basket of bows out and selling those bows, reasonably cheaply or whatever. But I guess it wasn't a thing because I didn't sell any of those bows. So I wanted to pick colors that would go with one of my bows that I have. I may regret putting this down while it's, oh yeah, it's still wet. For sure. I always dry before you turn it over. I was like, oh, it's pretty close. I don't have to worry about it. Oh no. Now I got both sides wet. Good going. So anyway, I went and grabbed a couple of those bows that I tried to sell last year, and I thought I'm going to use that on this particular sign and see if I can't get that bow sold on a sign. So, if it doesn't work the first time, try something new, right? Sometimes you just got to dig into your old crafts and go, okay, how can we repurpose this if it's not selling? So that's kind of I think that's maybe a hard thing about being a vendor at vendor events is like, I mostly do finished goods for my vendor events. And, yeah, it's kind of like you take it personally when people don't like what you have or don't purchase what you have. So it's hard to be like, why isn't anybody buying this? But I have learned over the years that you just never know what people are going to buy. You just don't. It's always different. You have this great idea in your head and you're like, this is going to work. This is going to be the thing that everybody's going to love this year and going to buy. And then you sell none. And then all of a sudden everything else sells. So it's kind of a silly thing, I guess. I don't know. So I definitely have so the 22nd is my first one. So I'm kind of in my head, run in circles because I have I should write a list. I always try to write a list. So when I think of things in the middle of the night, I'm not I can go to sleep. I can sleep well after I've written it down on my list because, you know, nobody wants to sit and think about it all night long instead of sleeping. So, but I can do that. I definitely will sit and think about, oh, I got to make this and I got to make that. But I've got a lot of, I need my dryer. What happened to it? I've got a lot of ornaments I've got to finish up. I've got some started. I've got I always like try to do some new ornaments every year, new style of ornaments. I've got some tried and true ones. Let me get this backside first. I've got some tried and true ones that I do every year that's always seem to be just great staples. So I always come back to those. Like my little snowman face ones, the soft ones, those always sell. And then my Jenga ones that I make into Mary and Joseph and Jesus, Jenga, those always sell too, but I haven't made those in a couple of years, so I probably should. I don't know. I just sort of sit and make a bunch, so stick around. If you're curious about what I'm up to, let me put this down. I see a little dribble somewhere. Oh, there it is. In that hole. It's like I saw the dribble. Now I got my arm into it, so we're all in today. Yes, they like to keep us, but you just don't know, like, what people are looking at. I think this year people are going to be a little more, this is my prediction, people are going to be a little more conservative. I feel like the economy doesn't feel as strong as it has in the past. So I think people are just going to be buying just less. I don't know. In my area, people aren't buying the signs as much. I think they just, I don't know. T-shirts were going pretty well this summer, so I'm kind of going to have to do some T-shirts. That's on my list of things to do. Speaking of T-shirts, if you haven't seen the Black Friday deals for Chocolatier this week, we have new deals for Black Friday. Every single week they drop on Monday, and they are limited supplies while supplies last. So this week, the $10 deal is a pack of fabric markers. Mine have shipped out. I'm excited for them because I think they are going to pair really nicely with the Peanuts transfers, where you can put the transfers on in ink and then use the fabric markers to color them in. If you've watched any of my t-shirts where I've colored in, you know that I'm about cursing when I do it, because I do not like, I'm not good at painting in the lines. I'm just not as steady, but I think the marker is going to fix that for me. I think it's going to be a good thing. Sorry, I'm kind of like drying the back side right now because I set it down and that was not smart. I've got it. It's going pretty good here, so I'm going to try to do this side too. We want this to be good and dry because, like I said, I think I'm going to go in and we're going to use some, I don't know, maybe we'll use some stain down the edges to make this a little bit more antique-y looking. You know me, got to do a little extra. The two, however, oh my goodness, I'm like, where's my spray bottle? Did I leave it in the house? I am going to spray this paint up a little here. Usually if you spray it, this works for the paste too, but I do it for the paint, the Waverly paint as well. I try to get like a nice coat of, I put purified water. I know you're supposed to use distilled, but I don't have it. I just keep a bottled water in here for it. I was chilly before, and now I'm kind of sweating. It's chilly. A couple of little weak spots here that I don't want to show through. A couple, but I think I could also cover those with some stain. So this is going to be a multi-stepped project. I've been doing a lot of just one and done. I like to just get things done and not have to do, you know, several days worth or hours worth. I like to get things done quick. I love to craft, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I have ADHD of crafting. I don't mean to be insulting on that if you have ADHD, but I kind of think I do, because I really do go go off on a tangent super easily. Just ask my family. It's like, okay, now I need to do this. Now I need to do this. Like I had like a dozen crafts that I knew I needed to do. And then when it was time to like do a live, I'm like, I have no idea. I'm trying to get this off because I don't want it permanently on my tool. This is not chalk paste, really. It is an acrylic, so it does really stick. Oops. What did I hit that with? Oh, you know what I did? I hit it with a wipe, I think. And I'm cleaning everything up. Okay, I'm putting a good mound there because this is really, really thick. It won't hurt it to put extra in there. All right. Get this evened out here a little bit because I hit it. Something. So it is moody outside. Moody. It's like icky, windy, rainy. Beautiful this morning. It was actually kind of warm. It was like in the 50s this morning, which is wonderful. I love it when it feels sort of a little bit like summer, but not too hot. And it's fall colors, you know, so love that. Got the leaves out. Kind of just feels fresh, but not, not so cold. But I woke up not feeling kind of terrible, not feeling good. I had a rough sleep. I couldn't sleep last night. And my husband goes, well, you know, it's supposed to be overcast and rainy. I'm like, shoot. So anyway, I got a nice walk in this morning. I've been kind of struggling with some sciatica problems. And so it's excruciating to walk or stand on my leg. But I got out and I'm determined to just continue, even if it's a shorter walk than usual, to get out and walk a little bit. So that's been my goal this week. I actually think this is pretty rough board. It's soaking up. And the reason I did both sides was because I wanted to be sure that the whole thing was, sometimes when you paint a board on one side, because it's so moist, it will warp the board. So if you paint both sides, what that'll do is it'll seal the board, number one, for you, as well as, I missed this one side. It will seal it up for you so it's no longer as porous by painting it. But then also it will bring it back to its original flatness by putting moisture on all sides of it. So I missed this whole side, and we don't want to do that because we don't want it to be raw. All right. So first I think I'm gonna just take some of our gel stain, the Dixie Belle gel stain, and put that on here to give it some character. So these are the two bows. I was talking about the bow. Ooh, that one kind of fell apart, so I need to fix that one. The wire broke. So I've got this one. I'm kind of leaning towards this one. I like this one. And then there's this one. Which one do you vote for if you're on here? I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for coming on in. This is my small business. I do sell craft supplies through Chalk Couture, as well as I have my own finished goods website. And right now, if you haven't heard already, I do have a 12 Days of Christmas gift box where you get 12 days of craft supplies, and it's enough craft supplies to make 4 whole projects from start to finish. And then I'm putting in some on YouTube private videos of the how-tos on how to make those 4 projects. And so it's really a great deal. It's only $75, but you need to order right away because I don't want to, I want to get it off to you in time for the holidays. I'm probably going to be making up a couple boxes and having them at my first crafts show. I don't know about the second one. We'll see what I have left. But I have limited supplies. I've just got my limits. I couldn't so this is the Dixie Belle Gel Stain Tobacco Road. Is that the one I want? Yes, it's the dark one. And it has separated because it's been kind of sitting there. And seriously, this really goes a long way. A little bit goes a long way. And I don't want full coverage on this. So I'm just going ahead and Getting this mixed up really good. These are not supposed to be frozen. So if you know, they're going to have a cutoff date when you can still order these because they're going to stop shipping them out once it freezes. So, all right. I put a little bit in the, my dish here. Oh, there's one of those. Oh, the wind. We have had some wind like no other. It's kind of crazy around here. All right. So this one's kind of, ooh, I don't know what happened to that. Looks like it got burned or something. Hi, Amanda. Good to see you. So I'm just going to take and kind of take a little bit of this stain up on my brush and more dry brush it than anything else. I do want to get some darkness on it. And I'm kind of wondering, because this bow, I may even change my mind on the bow if I need to maybe look at my stash of bows, and I need to go through and update things too, so I kind of need to look at things a little bit. I'm just going to randomly put this on. It sort of makes it look like it's, I have to be careful. You see, I made like brush strokes here. It would have been better not to do it from the outside instead of coming from the middle of the board. I should have like come, I don't know. I don't want there to be like these huge brush strokes on here. So I'm trying to be cautious, but I guess it's okay, whatever way it goes. Just sort of dry brushing. I'm not trying to get too much on, but yet I want it to be there. I don't want it to be, and more on the outside edges than anywhere else. So this is just sort of a, I don't know. I maybe poured out way too much. Like I said, a little bit goes a long way. So I'm just going to go around the outside edge a little bit. Make sure I'm not dribbling here. And this is really just random. I like to do like a little bit of zhuzhing, making it look a little more rustic. I'm not, you know, a purist. I kind of like things to look a little rustic. So this is just you don't have to do this. You could do just a plain paint. This is just my version of it, I guess. I don't know. I just like to give it a little more, to me, it looks more homey if it's got a little bit of rusticness to it. But do want the outside edges to be a little bit more dark around the edges, because I think it just highlights it really nicely. And I may even like eventually, because this one, if I do use this one bow, it does have a gold trim on it. I don't know. I gotta fix that bow. Gotta fix it. Ah, don't spill. Oh my goodness, that was close, you guys. So we're just sort of very randomly getting some brown on there. And you could do the back. It's not really necessary. Not really necessary. I'm not trying to make it look dirty. I'm just trying to... It's a fine line, right? Dirty. I'm going to set that aside. We might come back to that. All right, so next, after this gets dry, which I'm going to give it a hot minute here. Try to get that out of the way without making myself a mess. It looks like that like got heated or something. I don't know how that brush got all burned up. Who knows? I don't think our water is that hot that it would burn it. What I kind of wonder is if it was like sitting next to the stove and got stuck in the flame of my stove really quick. I don't know, because my sink is next to the stove pretty close. So sometimes I put it on the dish drain to dry my brushes. A little piece of glitter on there. Oh my goodness, no glitter. This is a glitter-free zone. Ha ha ha. Okay, I think we got it. Put this away here. And I'm going to take this out because I don't need that, and it just shows up a little bit better not on my... I disturbed a stink bug right when I took that out. It was like inside my paper there. And I'm like, oh, that stinks. Stink bugs are so bad. They're bad this year. We have really bad stink bugs this year. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use a little surface wax on this to seal that all in. This is actually, just a little bit. You don't want to use too much, but this is a pretty rough board. And then putting a fresh coat of paint, ideally we would let this dry for 24 hours, but nobody has that kind of patience. So we're just going to go with it. Here's the backside. I'm also going to put the wax on the backside, not because I need it, but because I want to just have it consistent. Again, back to that wetness, because this board is showing a little bit of warping as I'm painting it. And I think, all paint kind of takes 24 hours to cure. So I think it'll flatten out as it gets into that 24 hours more. All right, on to the transfer, on to the fun part. So I actually am going to mix two. So this is the transfer I'm going to use. Like I said, I have not used it yet. And isn't that cute? It's got all these little icons for the holidays. And because I'm kind of looking at brighter red here, I think I'm going to use, gosh, what is the color red? Candy apple. They say candy cane. Candy apple red for the color, I'm pretty sure. But this is a C-size transfer. And actually right now, in addition to our doorbusters for $10, so we've got those fabric markers for $10 and they're going to be limited supplies. And then we've also got 2 different heat transfers that are exclusive and while supplies last. So if you have a heat thing, those are there. And E-size transfers are 50% off. If you go under what's new on my website, you'll see them. So this transfer is called Holiday Presents. And oh my gosh, aren't these so cute? There's like the bow, like bows are super trending right now. And then these stripes, you can use those year round. You do not have to wait to use them only at Christmas. Same with the bow, I think. And then this is what I really want to put on here. So I just cut that apart because they come like that. And then we're going to get that, try to find is this my candy apple red right here? That is cherry. So cherry is an option too. Kind of a deeper, maybe that would work better actually. Candy apple looks like it might be more promising just as far as how much paste I have. So we're using paste. Paste is water-based. So, anybody can use this, non-toxic. That is why it's sitting up there, because it is very low. My goodness, you guys, I am going to go for a skate. It feels like this whole I know it's not going to. It's actually tied up to the tree because my husband cranked it into its place by going on the tree. So I know that my Airstream isn't going to blow away, but it does feel like it sometimes. Okay, get this out of my way. Sometimes do you guys do this with craft supplies? You just like get things kind of stacked up and stacked up and stacked up. It's kind of crazy. Do I have some candy apple that's going? Maybe not. I got that there. Oh, that is an orange. That is an orange. And this is ink. We don't want that. Probably should keep my inks. So that was my candy apple. I wonder if red is like a hard commodity here. I didn't know I had. Oh, that one is absolutely dry. So you could just keep wetting these down. They're water-based, so it will come back, but it does take some time. So patience is not my virtue. Jolene is too pink. I know that. That was a color of the month. Maybe we'll do Shimmer Crimson. We'll see where that goes. And then we might have to rematch a ribbon to it. So I'm going to get out a fuzzing, because this is the first time we're using it. I do want to fuzz this transfer before we put it onto this tag, because we don't want it to stick too hard. There's also a free with purchase opportunity right now for Black Friday sales as well. Every week, I think they're going to have a free with purchase. There's a heat transfer. You'll get it free when you purchase $50. A heat transfer with keychains, and they are so adorable. So adorable. Love, love, love them. So anyway, and who doesn't love something free, especially at Christmas time? I know I do. Excited for it to come. It shipped out already, so I ordered on Monday first thing, and it's already shipped for me, so that's exciting. I'm just trying to get this fuzzed up so it doesn't stick too hard, kind of going all the ways so that it, I get all the areas. So just put it on and take it off, and all right, I'm gonna put that away. And then I want these to be, you know, right side up when you hang it. So I'm just gonna take a look and see how we want to do it. And I really like those. Okay, so I can see that the tree. So this is going to mostly cover this. And I'm actually just going to go right up to here with it. And I've got a word from another transfer. I've got joy that I want to put on here, I think. Maybe I need to go down. Maybe I'm going to go down one more row because I'm looking at it. I've got peace, love, and joy. Joy, love, and peace and love. I don't know how to put those together, but for sure, I think I will use the joy. Not necessarily looking for... Okay, I don't want them to be halfway on here, so I'm going to just go off. And I'm going to try to... want to make sure... my favorite one out of all these little icons is that little Christmas tree. So I want to make sure that tree is on there. So that is, I think, where I want to put it. And I'm just going to double check to make sure it is straight. I am eyeballing it because, you know, you're not a true crafter if you don't eyeball things. That's what I think. Hi, Karen. Good to see you. Haven't been seeing you for a while. I haven't been on for a while, so that's my own bad, I feel like. That is my own bad. So this is going to be, anything you see in green is going to be white. Oy, oy. And then anything that you see white through is going to be red. So that's how that kind of goes through. I moved it over a tad because I like this little candle here and just kind of wanted the whole candle, not part of it. So let me know, do you guys still hang up signs like on your door, or are you on to wreaths for Christmas? Do you do a sign or a wreath on your door, front door? All right, I'm going to use a small, and this is Crimson Shimmer Crimson. Isn't that beautiful? Yummy, yummy. And the shimmer part of it is... the shimmer is glitter right in the paste, so you don't have to get your place full of glitter. That's the great thing. Although I am getting it full of glitter from my bows here because they have glitter on them, I think. So we're going to move somewhat quickly here, just putting the paste right over it, filling all the white places up. I made sure to get out all the air bubbles out of it because we don't want to have air bubbles underneath. That's where it kind of leaks underneath the transfer. And with this shimmers, you kind of want to work it into it a little bit more than the usual paste. And the reason for that is because you want to get that glitter. It's a really fine glitter in the paste, but you want to get it fully in there. So, ooh, I just love this. I'm like loving it without taking off the transfer yet. It's already like looking exciting to me. Boy, it is kind of nasty out there. My husband made a comment. He said the leaves, usually we have snow before the leaves even come off the trees. And the trees kind of break because they're full of leaves and snow at the same time here. But this time the leaves have actually come off before we've had the 4-letter word snow. It's like, I'm not wishing any of that. So I'm not complaining at all. It's not a complaint. I'm just saying it's just weird because we have leaves everywhere. So, but this wind should take it away, right? Should take it away. Okay, let's see how this is. Hopefully I got this on here straight. Nice and slow because we want it to come off, but oh my goodness, isn't that pretty? Pretty, pretty, pretty. Pretty as pretty can be. And you can kind of see, let's get this out of here. I'm going to put this back on. This is a reusable transfer. So I will take this to the sink and wash it, and we will be able to use it again. Just plain water. You don't need to put any sort of chemical or anything on it. That is it. Now, isn't that gorgeous? Let me show you that. Isn't that beautiful? What a great way to make a beautiful, like, door hanger or Christmas hanger, isn't it? So much detail. Because it's a silk transfer. That's why it has so much detail. But look at that. It's got a little shimmer to it. Oh my goodness. Love, love, love. I want to get this dry. Tell me, are you guys, for Christmas, do you put wreaths on your front door or do you put a sign on your front door? I'd love to hear. What is your way at the holiday season? I don't know if I've seen comments. You know, the Book of Face has not been too kind to those of us doing lives recently. They're kind of going towards just wanting the shorts. But I like to touch base every once in a while and just tell you what's going on. Chit-chat away. Make some nice crafts. That kind of scared me. I don't know if the window maybe is not locked shut. So I'm making sure this top section is nice and dry because I want to put a transfer on here. I want to put that joy on here. So I'm thinking about doing, there is that stupid stink bug. Do you guys have stink bugs where you're at? Put a little bug if you do. This is from an old transfer, Shiplap and Joy it's called. And it's got a shiplap pattern that you could put on, which is very beautiful as well. But I am just going to use the joy part. There's also peace and love you could also use. But I think this joy is pretty. Let's see. And you could tell it's an older one because you can't see through it. So I might just put this. I was going to put it to one side, but I think just because of the size of it, it might be better to put it in the middle. And I want to do it lower because I want this upper part to have, remember, I have some big bows. Isn't that pretty? Actually, that might be my bow right there. Isn't that pretty? Hello, Guided Creation, Printable Designs. Could you tell me what your name is? I'm sorry. I don't know. So I'm thinking, what color should I make my joy? I'm thinking, this is really windy here. I hope a branch does not fall on us because I am under a tree in my Airstream. So, it's shady here. It is for real. Literally and not so literally, I guess you would say. Okay. Got that. Should I put gold? But there is, like, this one has silver on it. So I wonder, or I was thinking maybe I should do, I think that window, these windows are like on these little, because this is 1953 camper, so it's got creaks. It's got some scary creaks sometimes. I'm kind of excited I'm getting this done. I'm thinking about doing espresso maybe, like the brown color in it, just to kind of go with the brown. Or if I could find, I don't know if I have silver shimmer or not. But I have to at some point. Or I could do, no, or black. What would you do? Brown, black, silver. I think my silver is maybe dried up. That's what I'm thinking. And this one is espresso, but I'm betting it is done. It's pretty done. I did it. And this one is too. I must have some espresso around here somewhere. I've got two 2 jars. Oh, there it is. I got the new one. Yay. I was pre-thinking. I'm actually thinking this is a black shimmer. Or no, that one is pretty done too. So I kind of just keep these around because I like to use them for, I'll put water in there and use them for watercolor. So I think I'm going to do espresso. I just think it's a nice color. The other color I would think of is like black velvet. I think would be beautiful. Alrighty, here we go. So you want to make sure your transfer is down without any bubbles in it. This, I think, stuck down pretty good. And we're just going to go ahead and... So to seal this up, I probably will just, once it's dry and cures for a little bit, I'll probably come back and anywhere I pasted tomorrow, I will just go ahead and wax the rest of it. Because remember, I waxed the whole board before I went ahead with this coat. So the only part that's not waxed is actually the part that I'm just putting on right now, this with transfers. All right, let's see how this turned out. Here we go. It's nice when a plan comes together. Beautiful. I kind of love it. I think espresso is the new black. Black and gray. You remember how Farmhouse was all gray for a long time? I think espresso is the new Farmhouse gray. I don't know. I kind of like it. You could do black if you don't like it, or you could do the silver. What do you think? I kind of like it. So I'm excited about that, and I think this is the bow. What do you think? It's a little more plain, maybe, than what most people would do. And you could do this, and I just want it to pop a little bit, the joy. I don't know. There's a little peace and love. Little peace and love. But this is too busy to put it down here. So I don't know if you would do peace and love, joy, or joy in, maybe I should have put it down below. But I kind of like it just with the joy. I like the simplicity of it. Although you and I know it's not exactly the easiest. We did more steps than usual. So I'll be excited to hear what you guys say. Do you guys have stink bugs? Because I have a little stink bug on the loose in here. They've been really crazy here in Idaho this year. Like hundreds of them. Every night my husband takes out about 10 out of the house. Puts them in the toilet, actually. They're awful. You just touch them and they stink. They emit like a smell. I'm not exactly sure. It's probably, obviously some sort of defense mechanism. So if this is too plain, you could use that stripe part on the top. But I think it gives it texture. So this was packed away from last year. Like I said, last year I made a bunch of bows to sell, and this was one of them. I don't know, would you buy bows just pre-made? If you're a wreath person, that would be, I think, a great way to do, bows on your wreaths and change them out seasonally, but I don't know. Nobody bought, so I was kind of sad because that was kind of my exciting thoughts on doing. I guess I got one going the wrong way here. That was my one exciting thought on doing, and then I do have more of this I'll use maybe for the hanging. Because I always like to put some sort of string through that, even though, or string, or you can hardly tell it's, I might hot glue this on here. Put it off to the side so you know it's a tag. I don't like that. I was thinking to the side with the words. Isn't that pretty? I just think it's beautiful. I'm going to do it to the side. And I'll probably hot glue, tack down some parts here so that it really is stable. You could put some jingle bells on there, little greens if you want. I am less froof usually, although I like to make the froofy bows. It's kind of funny. I'm like more of a less froof kind of person, but my bows are froofy, so I guess I shouldn't say that. But I do have a bow maker. And that's how I make this big big bow. And you know what? 90% of bow making is proofing. So that's how I make beautiful bows, really, and consistently beautiful bows, is that I have a bow maker. And it doesn't take too long. Go back in my videos on YouTube, and it's Prairie Scraps on YouTube. And make sure that you do all the things here. If you have some crafty friends who might like to see some things, please share this out for me, because, you know, like I said, the Book of Face, not always lovely to us crafters who like to do lives and provide content. So what do you think? Off to the side or in the center? I kind of like the look of it if it's a little bit off to the side. I might like attach it like that, and then I'll put something around here to hang it with. So that is it. I appreciate you all being here. It didn't go too bad, I don't think. I don't know what the timing is. I think it was only a little bit over a half an hour. Not too bad, especially considering we had to paint the base. You know how I am about painting bases. So what do you think? In the center or off to the side? I'm thinking actually lower. This might not be I have a Chanel here holding it. I may just go right here at this, right here. So it's sort of like the top portion, right? Or do you think in the center? I kind of like off to the side like this. All right. I thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on the replay, put hashtag replay. Let me know if you need any help. Hello, Mom. Good to see you. Go back and watch the beginning. This is the end. So I appreciate y'all. Have a very blessed evening, and make sure you keep on crafting.